Apothecary Diaries season 1. So we try to go like we'll have like an action show, and then we'll do like a more kind of like laid back, if you will.
Yeah, like maybe down the road we'll get into like sports. Like maybe if Zach and I find something like sports or romance or something like that, we'll throw that in there too. But like we do want to have like something that is not punchy all the time.
Yeah, we love our fighting animes, but we also enjoy other types. And Amy and I watched this before I got you to watch it, and dude, Apothecary Diaries is so freaking good. I was actually kind of surprised, and this is not something a kid should be watching. I will just say that.
No, like I mean, it doesn't do anything explicit, but it does have mature themes in there. I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe you shouldn't do this.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so know that from the get go. Like, this is more of like an adult. It's nothing bad, but there are some discussions and everything. But I wasn't expecting the feel of the show to be kind of like House MD, where he's like,
good point.
Like, figuring out the mystery or whatever's going on, the illness and all of this, and the amount of storytelling that is done in this show, because it's not action heavy, but you definitely feel like this push to like know what's going to happen. Oh, I gotta watch the next episode. What's but the way they set up the show, the way the characters interact with each other, I absolutely love. And I'm just like, I know I've talked about it on stream and everything, but Mao Mao is hilarious. Like I like one of the main things that is on my For You page is like people doing like edits or whatever, and like Mao Mao just like decking people or like making fun, like it's great. So Derek, let me know, what did you think about Apothecary Diaries season 1?
Kind of echoing what you said, I did not expect this show to be as good as it is. And like when it was nominated for Anime of the Year, I'm like, okay. And then when you recommended this for our show of the month, I was like, okay, that's perfect, because it like everyone, like when you see on Crunchyroll's page, when you go to the browse section, most popular, it's like Solo Leveling, Apothecary Diaries is number 2. And then it's like it was nominated for Anime of the Year, and people just keep mentioning it. And it's like it got a season 2 right now. Season 2 is almost done. Can't wait to watch season 2. And I was like, okay, I agree. Let's watch this. Like, I'm intrigued. I want to see what all the hype's about. And man, I'm not disappointed. Like Mao Mao. Let's just start there. Mao Mao and Jinshi, like the two, like the main characters. Jinshi being voiced by Gojo is great, by the way. And it just kind of brings, it's like a softer tone, like because you're used to seeing him playing like eccentric characters, angry characters, but you don't see him just playing like he's got that little bit of like Gojo, that little bit of like playfulness in him, but he's really just kind of like serious and like concerned. I'm like, you don't really see, I'm glad he's playing a different type of character. But Mao Mao, I said it from the jump, like the first episode or 2 where she's fawning over herbs and weeds and like all this. I'm like, oh man, this is a free run when she's like seeing magic or grimoires, like just her going crazy. And then later on in the show, when when she's at the rival house or like the rival temple or whatever, like for one of the concubines, and then like her ladies in waiting just keep kicking around. She's like bounce, and like the faces she makes, I'm like, this kind of reminds me of Anya.
Yeah.
So Anya for like
where she like turns into a cat is hilarious.
Yes. So like those two, because I've stated here on previous episodes, like I love how Freeren's character is and portrayed. I loved Anya in Spy Family. So seeing those two wrapped up in one character just hits so many right notes with me that like you said, like the way they set it up. And like she has like her own character development is so sad and great at the same time. We'll get into it here in a minute, but just seeing like how she ends up there, like her father says from like, be careful, there's been a lot of kidnappings, and then literally 5 minutes later she gets kidnapped and sent to the palace.
It was almost slapstick comical, right? It's like, be careful, there's been kidnappings, and then it's like
oh, and then she like her realization's like, well, can't do anything about this. But like you said, like the way like she is so, because her dad was an apothecary. and she just basically became obsessed with it, like wanted to be all in the know, like for reasons that you see. And like the way she like just tested stuff on her arm, which
Yep.
I have my own theory about that because of how the end of season 1, but we'll discuss that later. But just seeing like how she like her obsession with poison is like, oh, I like, especially when it comes to pufferfish, I'm just like a little weird, but everyone's got to have their own quirk. But and just seeing how she uses that medical knowledge to help people, and like in the beginning, it's like realizing things like, oh, why do these babies keep dying for all the different concubines? And it's like, oh, the makeup powder that you use to make these concubines look gorgeous is actually poison for the baby. Take them off. And then when she scolds one of the ladies in waiting, like while the concubine is like Sith, like pretty much like almost on her deathbed, and like she's like, I just want her to make pretty, and she's like, you're a freaking idiot. You're killing her and doing more harm than good. Get out of here.
Dude, that is one of my favorite scenes, is where she just cold cocks that lady. Dude, when she did,
I was like, all right, this is Freerin when she sees a demon. Like, just does a 180 immediately.
Like, but it's just so good the way they wrote everything, and how, like, yes, she does, like, is part of Lady Gyokyo's like jade pavilion and everything, but I think it's the Crystal Pavilion. Lady Liwa is
the Jade Pavilion.
No, sorry. Yeah, Virtuous Consort. That's right. No, hold on. There's so many names here.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, Liwa. That's what it is. Liwa is the one that she saves and everything. But like, she even gave it, like, at the very beginning, she's like trying to save both of these babies, like you were talking about, and it's like someone, like the head lady over at the Crystal Pavilion, threw the note away.
Yeah.
And it's like, you were the reason why the baby died.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, it is so good. The mysteries, like, we get like different things going on, and she's like having to figure out these mysteries. Is just
like the dancing ghost.
Yeah, the dancing ghost. The dude that was like drinking and like died, like, know.
The brothers, the brothers like they had get all these different things like left in their will, and like how that gets like, I think that was one of my favorite like mini side missions in the show, was like, oh, they can't get along because the dad always favored the younger one. And it's like, no, you all have your strengths. And then each one of those had, just like they all had to come together to play different parts of a business, just like their last will and like their final gifts all played a part in finding out what was in the chest. I was like, man, this is so flipping good.
Yeah, and how that plays into the main story as well with that ceremony. Guys, you need to go watch this. If like, I don't want to ruin everything on here. I just want to hit some of the comments. Dan says, I like the scene where she's taste testing at a ceremony, and she tells everyone with a look of absolute grace and dignity that says, this dish is poison.
I know, because she literally right before, it's like, I hope I get puffer fish or whatever. And she's like, it's poison. Like, just so it's like,
yeah,
it's okay.
Where she's like, this is poison or whatever. Like, so many times I've seen on TikTok that girl is poison, like with like Apothecary Diary edits and everything. But I do want to hit something. I don't know if you know this, Derek, but the writer of the manga, and Dan has been reading the manga as well, the writer actually hates Jinchi.
Really?
Yeah. Like, he was only supposed to be in like the manga like a few chapters, and then everybody fell in love with him, even her aunt. And that's where like the pushing Mao Mao and him together and everything. Yeah. She's like, he is the hardest person to write because I hate him so much.
Wow, that's crazy. But hey, that's sometimes sometimes you got to have inspiration to create some great things.
Exactly. Yeah. She despises having to write. I thought that was just hilarious because everybody's like, oh, Jinchi, you know. The romance is weird sometimes.
It is, and even I think that's a little tongue in cheek. Like now, knowing that now, I think the writer does that intentionally because, everyone fawn. Like I want to talk about Jinchi for just a minute too. Like everyone fawns over him. Like he's the pretty, like because they're pretty much the only men allowed to be in the palace with the concubines, and the ladies in weddings are people who are eunuchs. And like he's such a pretty boy, like he could be a woman. It's like like everyone fawns over him, and Mao Mao's just like creeped out by him for whatever reason. So I feel like that's tongue in cheek by the writer. But his story is so interesting because you're like, all right, why is he the favorite, all that? And then Mao Mao shoots some theories out there, like for one of the episodes with Lady Liwa. And like when they find out about the other the other two concubines, and then you find out, oh, he's like one of the strategists, like, oh, I know your true identity. Or it's like, oh, like this is not becoming of a eunuch, or like this is only for like people of higher status. And I'm like, okay, there's a mystery around him. And then you find out, like, well, I don't think we fully found out, but then you find out, like, oh, not really who he says he is. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes, but now why? Why?
Yeah.
I need to know. I need to know the why now.
We get a little bit more of that in season 2. I'll tell you that.
Okay, good. I can't wait to watch it. But like, they don't, obviously, to me in season 1, I don't feel like how, what was it in Dandadan's, I think a good example, like, there was Momo and Okaroon. Like Okaroon started falling for Momo, but I think it wasn't until the end of season 1 that Momo maybe's like starting to get feelings, or there may start to be feelings there with for Momo as well. Mao Mao has no feelings, I feel like, for Jinchi, but Jinchi, I think, is like wanting, for whatever reason, he is obsessed with trying to be a part of Mao Mao's world. Like maybe not romantically, but he is obsessed with wanting, because she doesn't fawn over him like everyone else does. It's like he wants to find out why. And he's like kind of shoehorning himself into Mao Mao's life. But I do think that toward the end of season 1, they do become great allies. Like I think they're starting to realize, like, hey, your intentions are good. I have good intentions. Like, yeah, we may have a little bit of weird character quirks, but we can actually come together and do some good things for the palace. And like, and like, you're obviously a great asset. I have the power to make things happen here. So let's at least tolerate each other. But I'll let you respond, but I want to go back to Mao Mao here in a minute.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is because what Dan said, their whole reason why he likes her is because she doesn't, fawn over him. She actually thinks he's disgusting. But I do want to kind of point this out. I've heard people talk about this, like like all of this is from Mao Mao's perspective and everything. She's an unreliable narrator. Like when it comes to like everything else but Jinchi, she's very just like,
oh, so what they're saying is she's fair, straightforward, like middle of the road. With Jinchi, she's opinionated. She's like, nope, don't care for him.
Well, it's like I think she doesn't understand how to quantify like her emotions and everything. So I think that's where it's like she's never really had that. All she's been exposed to is her dad that is a eunuch himself, or the place that she worked at and everything. And I think that's what she's it's a transactional thing, but it's like I feel like she's an unreliable narrator where she's telling us one thing but she's feeling a different thing.
Okay, that's intriguing.
And maybe not at the very beginning, but as it goes on, like her repulsion seems to kind of explode sometimes.
Right.
But one of my favorite relationships she has, there's two. Lady Gyokyo. I love how Mao Mao and her interact. It's like her older sister, and she's like really helping her out. And then, of course,
that also comes from her previous line of work as well.
Exactly. And then the eunuch, what was his name?
Isn't it with Jinchi, like his like second right-hand man?
Yeah. Like where he's like he calls her something, I can't remember what it was, but he's always like supporting and like trying to get Mao Mao to like, hey, please don't do this because you're going to offend like Master Jinchi. It's but he's like this fatherly figure and everything.
Right.
And I really like Gauchwin. I think he's one of the best characters in the first season. Him and Lady Gyokyo, side characters for sure.
So for sure, like I forgot about I forgot his name as well, but Gauchwin, like yes, definitely, I think is a great support character, especially like being a mediary between, like you said, Jinchi and Mao Mao. Is like, all right, guys, quit bickering and just work together, please, or just act, try and tolerate each other. Mao Mao, man, let me tell you, like yes, like we talked about, like how like her boisterousness or like love of herbs and finding ways and poison and all this kind of stuff. Her backstory is so sad too, like her upbringing because of where she lived, what she had to do. Like it was the episode early on where like she has to get dolled up for like the first like little festival they had, in the beginning. And then it's like you find out about the freckles. And I was like I was like, man, I'm like, okay, this is weird. Why does she do it this way? And then she explains it, and it just goes sad real quick. And then like reality hits, because that's how stuff has to. That there are places in the real world you have to do that, and I'm just like, oh, that hurts. Like, oh, now I'm starting to feel for you, man. Oh man, why'd you have to do that? And then you find out and then like toward the end of the season, her revelations about like how the strategist is involved, and then there's a secret not concubine, but secret courtesan at this place. I have a former line of work, and I'm like, oh, and that whole story, like over those couple episodes, is just like heart-wrenching. It's like, oh, like especially when you have the realization that the tactician really kind of wasn't at fault, but is still at fault to some extent. It's like, man, that Mao Mao had it rough, and like now you see why she spent so much time at this place, why she does so many poisons. I do think that because of that Courtesan, I think that like because she keeps her arm bandaged. I know it's not to raise questions, but I also think it plays into what happened with the Courtesan to an extent. But that's just a random theory. I don't think it probably does. And that's why she's so obsessed. We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay.
We'll talk about it after the show because I don't want to spoil it here. But her story is very sad, I will say.
Yeah, like she's the Verdigris house is that's the name of it. I couldn't remember. I had to look it up. But like Lacan, the strategist, like that last arc in season 1,
yes,
is like you're just like, God, I hate this dude. And then anime does what anime does, and it animes up and down all over this anime. If y'all know what we're talking about, like it twists things around.
It flips things on their head,
and it's just so good. Yeah, and I agree with Dan. It's like so many people have sad backstories. Lacan, like you learn more about him and everything, and then Mao Mao has her own backstory, and then like everybody, I feel like has something. Even the madam of the Verdigris house, like her story and everything, which we get a little bit more of that in season 2. But dude, like the way Apothecary Diaries, it's dense as well. Like it's I feel like
it's not just it's not just solving medical mystery of the week. It is like you said, dense. It adds more to it.
Yeah, and we're watching season 2, and they're bringing up stuff from season 1 that happened early on, and like dots are being connected and all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh man, I think I totally missed that or whatever. It's like it's just a tapestry, if you will, of what they're able to do storytelling wise with this show. And of course, it is a manga, but dude, it is so good, and I think more people need to go and watch this. I know it was nominated for Anime of the Year and everything, but yeah, it's so good. Amy says, Anime always makes you hate a character and then feel bad for them, and it's infuriating in times.
Yeah, fair.
Amy, I feel like I should take notes sometimes. Well, and it's like, okay, you have a very large cast of characters. You know, her friend, and then the 4 concubines
Yes.
from the different pavilions and everything, and then you have Genshi and Gaoshun. You've got so many, and then everybody at the Verdigris house. Like, there's so much that is in this show that, like, it's not one of the animes you can just kind of watch with one eye and then just kind of scroll on your phone. Like,
Nope.
it's something you need to pay attention to, which I'm glad we picked this one for our show this month. Derek, is there anything else you wanted to add to Apothecary Diaries season 1 review?
No, just I can't wait to watch season 2 because of the little hints you've given me. It makes me, we're getting more intrigue, more revelations. So I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah, I think the last episode just came out.
It's doing a 24 episode. It's on episode 47, so 48 will be this week. Will be its finale.
Okay, so once all the dub comes out, well, I'll have my opinions on the full season 2. But it's so good, you need to go watch it if you haven't already watched it.